Live. What's going on, people? Welcome to another edition of OTBN 365. I am the president of the Off the Ball Network, Chris Lebron, host of the Off the Ball podcast. And if you could see, I got my co-host. He's in the back, right there, Mo Murphy, chilling, Michigan man. We all know his love for the Michigan Wolverines. As you see, he's on the field with his solo cup, rocking Michigan. I can't believe he got access to the field like that. That's kind of remarkable. He got, you know, uh, s- you know, Class A access, at that beautiful facility at Michigan. But we all know Michigan, man. Mo is it was there in the building, so that's my call. He won't be talking, but as you see, rocking his Michigan gear. So appreciate Mo for joining the show. But on this edition of OTBN 365, we're gonna break down the Giants. It's kind of a New York edition. I'm from New York. We're gonna talk a lot some New York ball right now. Giants are 2-0. I think for the first time since 2016. Usually we starting off the season 0-2 and in misery, but 2-0 over the with the win over the Panthers. Wasn't pretty. None of these wins have been pretty, but you take it, right? You definitely take it. And the big man, 99 baby, hit number 60. And here's the call from last night and comeback win against the Pittsburgh Pirates. The walking it off with Giancarlo hitting a grand slam. But here's the call last night from the great Michael Kay. Aaron Judge with number 60, tying Babe Ruth for the most home runs in Yankees history, is one away from Roger Maris's 61. And not only is he on pace to break the Yankees all-time single season home run record, he's on pace to win the Triple Crown. Currently leading the league in batting average. He was like a percentage point off the league lead, and he is officially he's number one. So he's gonna run away with the home runs and RBIs. One thing has been the batting average, and I remember just a few weeks ago he was at like 293, and it was probably okay. I know he really wanted to get to 300, but and then since then he's been on an absolute tear. So he's at 316. He's ahead of Xander Bogaerts from the Boston Red Sox, who's at 315. Alvarez from Minnesota's having a really good season at 314. So those three guys are battling for the batting title. So that's going to be very, very interesting going down to see if Aaron Judge can get the Triple Crown. Because like I said, home runs, he's got that locked up in the AL. The next closest guy is Jordan Alvarez at 37. And in RBIs, he's 13 ahead of Jose Ramirez from the Guardians. So he has that locked up. It's easy to say. That's safe to say. He's got that locked up in the bag. So hell of a season. Hell of a season for Aaron Judge, who has been playing absolutely out of his mind, carrying the Yankees. I mean, to me, he's the MVP. And I understand Ohtani. He pitches, he hits, he's having a tremendous season, but they're like what 20 games under 500. Like I don't know what the heck is going on. They were playing good ball in the beginning of the season, the Angels, and then they just absolutely fell off a cliff. Yeah, they're 18 games under. I just don't think Ohtani. Now Judge probably won't win unanimous because people are going to factor in Ohtani's pitching and hitting. I think he should be unanimous because if the Yankees don't have Aaron Judge, we are
the New York media would absolutely be obliterating the Yankees right now because we probably we might be in the cellar. We might be in the cellar, because the AL East is a war. It is a war. I mean, we're talking about Boston 72 and 75, and in most divisions, that's probably middle of the pack. And in the AL East, that's dead last. You're in last place because of the rise of the Orioles, and you got Tampa and Toronto. So yeah, Aaron Judge unanimous MVP. Let's just give him that award right now, and especially if he wins a triple crown, unanimous. Would be the first triple crown winner since Miggy did it in 2012 when he did it for the Detroit Tigers. I remember that. That was an amazing season. Even though the batting average is probably would be I don't know the exact stat for the lowest batting average to win the person who has the lowest batting average to win a batting title, but it's still hey, I know it's like the lowest batting averages we've had in baseball in a while, but he's still in it. He still has a chance to win the triple crown, and like I said, just a few weeks ago, you wouldn't have said that. He's batting like 293. And he's been on a tear and hit a one yesterday, and then the Yankees wound up winning the game with Giancarlo grand slam. So the Yankees, they had that stretch where they were playing bad ball and really, really, really struggling, and played better of late. So it's going to be interesting to see how they only a 5.5 game lead, but that's why what they did in the beginning of season matters. To build that ginormously, what was at 1 point 16 and a half games, that was really important for them to get off to that hot start, because we all knew at one point it was going to fall off, right? Maybe to not this degree, but fall off. So they did what they had to do, and they're still 5.5 up. With and I forgot their magic number, but Judge is on fire and got the city rocking, and that man gonna get paid. So just give him a check, give him whatever he wants, and get this thing done. Get him signed so he's with the Yankees. I don't care how long. Put the C on his chest and sign and make sure he's a Yankee for life. So Aaron Judge, 60 home runs. We'll see. We'll see. Tonight's gonna be rocking. That ticket. That's gonna be a very expensive ticket there in the Bronx. So very excited to see if he gets it done. Could break it. Could break it today too. So interesting. Very, very excited to see what Judgy does today. But let's go in to the other New York team, the other first place New York team, the New York Football Giants are 2-0. And I've dove into them a little bit on the previous shows, but I'm going to do, obviously I said I'm going to do a talk about them weekly after win or loss. So another win, which is very good. Another win for the New York Giants, 2-0. It wasn't pretty. This was an ugly game, especially that first half. It was rough. It was rough. It was definitely rough. I think 12 points in the first half combined. Field goal, and that's the thing. 2 turnovers, right? And just leading to field goals, and it's crazy how no matter who's the coach, no matter who's the GM, it's the same issues, right? Tom Coughlin in the green zone, the same issues in the red zone. And capitalizing it just feels like this has been an issue for forever with this team. No matter who's playing quarterback, who's receivers, who's the tight end, who's the run, it's the same thing. Can't finish. I mean, we probably should have been up 14-0 or at least 10-0 off the jump. It just should have been like that, but wasn't the case. We didn't even score a touchdown. It felt like we didn't even score a touchdown. It was just, it's been their offense has definitely been disappointing so far. I thought the offense would be ahead of the defense, even though I know it's early, but and just the wide receiver play, and we'll talk about Kenny Galladay, and I think he only played a couple snaps, and it's there's rumors that they said he after the game didn't talk to any media and cleaned out his locker. Obviously that that's some of the bad of the David Gettleman era, was signing him to that $72 million contract, and his cap hit for the next few years is like 21 mil. So it's essentially going to be very tough to get rid of him, so, but just, I mean, when Richie James is essentially your leading receiver, man, I mean, and no disrespect to Richie James, but that wasn't what you expected, and he's so good for Richie James, but you didn't expect that to be the case where he's your leading receiver, with 110 yards, so Shep looks good, obviously come off that Achilles tear. We didn't really know what we expect from Shep, but Shep looks good. Saquon didn't do much in this game. Which I expected. Panthers got a pretty good defense, so they kept Saquon in check. Just 72 yards, 3 or 3.4 yards a carry, I believe, when I remember. So they didn't really, let him go off. I think his longest play was 16 yards or something. So they didn't really let him do his thing like he did in Tennessee. And Tennessee's got way more issues than we ever thought. But Daniel Jones looked all right. Nothing crazy. Excuse me, nothing crazy. Got sacked 3 times. And they're gonna really to shore up that protection going this week against Michael Parsons and the Dallas Cowboys. They got to figure that out. But Julian Love had a really good game. He played really good. I was impressed with him. A sack and 8 tackles. So he played really good. The pass rush is what it is. We're missing guys. So we got to kind of create things. Shane had a sack, so that's good, and I feel confident with him in that rotation once we get Aziz and Thibodeau back. Hopefully we will know more about them. Going into this week against the Cowboys Monday night, but we won't have Leonard Williams. I know Leonard Williams. He sprained his MCL, so he's going to be out. So that's a tough blow, losing him on that line. So someone's going to have to step up and take care of that, and that's going to be a thing, against the Dallas Cowboys, and we got to figure out. But if they had played any type of competent quarterback yesterday, Sunday, I think they lose this football game. But Baker didn't wow anyone. Didn't play good football. Just a $145. This was an ugly game. This isn't a game that a lot of people were tuned into. If you were not a fan of the Carolina Panthers or the New York Giants, but and McCaffrey looked solid for them. Show some burst, still not fully there. The full McCaffrey that we're used to, but they just couldn't do anything. I know DJ Moore had a touchdown, but they weren't able to feed their guys. So then that's kudos to Wink. And the defense for not allowing those big plays. They made some big, Carolina made some big plays. Robbie Anderson the week before against the Browns, and we didn't allow that. I think the longest passing play was I think 29 yards to DJ Moore, and DJ Moore, we didn't let him go off. Only 3 catches for 43 yards. So they did their thing. Bend don't break. It was more than bend don't break. They didn't let Baker do anything, but Baker was airing a lot of throws. Baker I said this before on Overreaction Monday. Baker, man, I don't think he's he's not your full-time starting quarterback in the NFL no more. I think those days are done. I thought, what better way to start the season off against the Browns and the Giants to get going? This hasn't been it. I know So yeah, I think the Baker experiment. I don't know if they'll go to Sam Darnold and once Darnold's healthy, but Darnold's in the same situation too. You know, he's very up and down. So that's what you get from Baker. But Giants did their thing. They did their thing and got the win, got the W. Special teams was good. Um, special teams was really good. Special teams was really good. And they got to win the ugly games. This is what you need to do to change the culture and change the perception on this team. Bad teams would have lost these two games and be 0-2, right? Previous Giants teams, we'd be 0-2 right now. We would have lost these two close games and it would have been a wrap. And another 0-2 start, and it's like, all right, here we go again. Season's over, and we're gonna go to Cowboys, and then we struggle against the Cowboys, and they'll beat us. And we won these games. It's ugly. It's very ugly. If you're not a Giants fan, you're probably like, oh, they're the worst 2-0 team. But you know what? I'd rather be the worst 2-0 football team in the league than the best 0-2 football team. So you take that, and you just continue to work with the offense. The offense definitely needs to get some more explosion. Because they know the Cowboys know they got to stop Saquon and all that, and it's going to be very interesting to see the matchups. How they handle Michael Parsons, who's been on an absolute tear in these first two games. Just looked like an absolute franchise type of defensive player. He's looking very special. So how Evan Neal and Andrew Thomas. Andrew Thomas, I think he's PFF's. I think he's the highest rated tackle so far in PFF. Like I said, it's 2 games, but wonder if the Cowboys are going to try to put him more on Evan Neal, who's the rook and still trying to get adjusted to the league. So going to be very interesting to see. But this game was like I said, not pretty, but the Giants got it done. They're 2-0. The crowd was loud. I wasn't there. Giants games tend to be very tame. They we're known as one of the most rowdiest crowds, but just from watching it on TV, they were loud. They were loud. You could hear it. You felt the energy, and that gave. I think that was the 12th man. That 12th man really put us over the edge, and with helping the defense and really making it very uncomfortable for the Panthers. You ever heard Matt Rule say, yeah, the crowd was a factor, man. It was loud in there, and it hasn't been loud at MetLife in a while. It's been a while since it's really been loud, so that's good. Get the crowd in it. Brian Daboll brings a lot of energy as a coach. This team just vibes with him well, so very, very good. Very good outing from the fans. They get their credit too for showing out. But very now we see how they'll do in a primetime game Monday night against a division rival who just came off a very good win, in OT versus the defending AFC champions. And now they have hope, So we'll see how this Cowboys team looks. They got a very good defense. Like I said, they got Micah Parsons, so you got to work on that. And me and Mo are gonna break down that Cowboys game. So stay tuned on and we'll give you more details when we'll drop that. But we'll talk. Right, Mo? How you feel? How you feel about going into this game? He just got the solo cup. I don't know what's in that solo cup, but we gotta talk later, Mo. I don't know what's in the solo cup. But you look good. You look good in amazing blue. I think that's the colors, right? Amazing blue. You look good, Mo. So keep it up, man. Michigan loves you. But so we'll drop that probably this week. Don't know exactly when. Maybe today or sometime during the weekend. But that like I said, Aaron Judge hit 60. Will he get 61 today? 62. Had a couple 2 home run games this year, multi home run games. Giants are 2-0. Let's talk about the Knicks. Let's talk about the Knicks. I didn't plan on talking about the Knicks. I was going to save that for my pod, Off the Ball podcast, which you can follow on Spotify and iTunes. Give that a 5-star rating. Leave a comment. And also, if you're on YouTube, make sure to hit that sub. Little by little, we're getting there. We're getting there. We're couple subs here, a couple subs there. We're getting there. I guess just trying to be consistent with the content. We're putting out really good content. Make sure to go to offtheballnetwork.com. Also, you know, if you're a Colts fan, you want to read that Stu article. He it's tough. It's tough. It's tough out there for Colts fans. So I feel for ya. I feel for ya. But the Knicks, man, obviously, haven't really dove into the Donovan Mitchell stuff and all that, but very content with them not making that move. Not that I don't think Donovan's a great player and all, but it was a lot. It was a lot, and you heard different sources. Sources. I put the quotes there, sources, and all that on different trade packages, some including RJ, some including Grimes, some not including RJ. Grimes is untouchable. Obi, 19 first round picks, all these crazy, trade scenarios. And I had spoke about this on a show recently, and shout out to my guy Apollo for having me on his 100 episode. We talked about this on his show, but I didn't know what to believe. Every day was a new rumor. This guy from the Post is saying this guy from this. I didn't believe anything. I wasn't going to believe anything till I heard the trade went through from Woj Shams. That's when I was going to believe something. And it did go through, just not to the team everyone anticipated it to go to. So, but I'm ready to rock and roll with the squad we have. And they extended RJ. That was another hot topic, whether they extend RJ. They gave RJ his money. Now comes expectations with RJ, because now he's paid. He's got his money, and now we'll see. Brunson, they added Brunson. Another year of Quentin Grimes, and see how Obi Toppin works in year 3. Manuel quickly. I'm really excited about Quick. I think Quick makes a big jump this year. How Julius Randle bounced back. Which Julius Randle do we get? Did we get the Julius Randle that was all NBA? Second team, or did we get the Julius Randle that looked like he didn't want to be here? So Mitchell Robinson. So they paid some guys. They're going in with the team they have, and they feel confident, and we'll see what happens. Whether I don't know where they're going to fit in the pecking order of the Eastern Conference. But if I had to have to at the top of my head, I think they can be a play-in team. I think they can. It's going to be tough even to just make the play-in, because there's some, there's still a lot of teams, and then a lot of those teams that made the playoffs last year. I don't see a lot of regression. There's always is a team that regresses. I don't know which team that is. Gonna have to dive into that more, but going to be interesting. Going to be interesting to see. Training camps around the block. So I'm excited to see how this team looks, how they gel, and we'll see what happens. I'll get more into detail on a future episode of the Off the Ball podcast. So on that note, we covered the Mets clinched the playoffs. The Mets are in the playoffs. I think for the first time since they made the World Series, right? If I'm correct, Mets are in it. So New York on a come up and up. The Jets won, with a miraculous comeback. Joe Cool looking like vintage Joe Flacco. So good times, New York. We're on up and up. We got some. I think the Liberty are gonna be better next year. Sabrina played really good. Really good basketball towards the end of the season. So New York. We'll see what Brooklyn does. So we'll dive into more of that in future episodes. But on that note, that's another episode of OTBN 365. Make sure to like, subscribe, comment. Make sure to follow us on Instagram, on Twitter. Make sure to check out the website, offtheballnetwork.com. Make sure to follow all the great content creators we have at the network. Check out the sponsor tabs on the Off the Ball Network page. We got a lot of great sponsors. Fanatics, Badass, just an abundance of great sponsors. So check that out. And if anything pops up, we'll have another episode of OTBN Daily. OTBN 365. I get confused with Daily and 365. I like Daily. I have to use Daily, but OTBN 365. make sure to follow the OTBN_network on Twitter. Keep you updated if we will have another episode. If Judge hits 61, 62, we'll be back. I'll be back tomorrow to dive into that. But on that note, be well, be safe, take care. Peace out, guys.